Thank you. Like Emrad said, I'm Tina Schaefer, she, her pronouns, with the Washington State Department of Ecology, a little tiny team in our solid waste program called the Recycling Market Development Center. And I'm just going to give a very small, short background about who we are and why we're here. We started the NextCycle Washington program in 2021, and by building a broad coalition of partners and who are already leading great efforts in waste reduction. And these partners all came to the table with different perspectives. We have local governments that are responsible for managing waste in their jurisdictions. And so they're interested in diverting waste from their landfills and advancing their own climate action plans and integrating social equity into the fabric of their work. And then we also have state agencies like ecology and commerce that are charged with reducing waste throughout every corner of the state and trying to overcome the urban rural divide by developing new recycling and reuse markets, and at the same time creating jobs, attracting investment, and doing their part to implement the HEAL Act, which is focused on environmental justice concerns and really meeting the collective needs, which begin to drive us towards those unique and meaningful solutions. So ecology is currently the lead funder for NextCycle Washington. And then specifically my team that I mentioned, the Recycling Market Development Center. We have been tasked by the legislature to stop sending those valuable materials overseas and instead create end markets for those materials right here at home in Washington. And then our team has a partnership with the Department of Commerce to support and drive those businesses in Washington and create that thriving Washington circular economy. And this is why NextCycle Washington is the perfect match for ecology and the Recycling Market Development Center's goals. We have waste reduction, we have creation of Washington end markets, and feeding the circular economy, all while supporting small business and innovative projects. So NextCycle Washington is operated by an amazing team. The team working to operate the program is also collaborative, and it includes Cascadia Consulting, Traversal Design, Start Consulting, and RRS. These are all mission-driven firms that are dedicated to advancing solutions around circularity, equity, stakeholder engagement, and everyone comes with different resources and skills. So RRS is an international firm that's headquartered in Michigan, but then they also have staff throughout the country, and that includes right here in the Pacific Northwest. And the other partners are all located here in the Pacific Northwest with long relationships tied to Washington communities. If they were working all on their own, RRS, it wouldn't allow them to, I believe, truly understand and meet the needs that are unique to Washington and our surrounding region. So this is our facilitators for the program. And I don't know if everybody's here today, but it gives you an idea of the folks that you may see along the way. We have Christy Chow with Cascadia, one of our lead coaches. Bryce Hesterman from RRS, also lead coach. I believe he'll be in the NextCycle experience room today. We have Jackie. Jackie, this is your first application party. Welcome. And then we have Annie Lee from Traversal. She leads up our governance team along with Kamal Patel, also from Traversal, that does a wonderful job of leading our governance team. And they'll be in our networking and brainstorming room. Lizzie Paul, shout out to Tacoma, from RRS, one of our coaches, and then Emrad, as you met, communications lead at RRS, and she'll be hanging out in the main room, directing traffic and spinning some sweet jams. And then last, certainly not least, Liz Stark from Stark Consulting, and I believe she'll be taking over the applications room that you'll hear more about later today.
Awesome. Thank you, Tina. Hi, everyone. My name is Kamal. I am in Seattle, been here for about 15 years. And yeah, I'm going to give a little bit of a grounding of what NextCycle is and some examples of projects and some programming elements. So first, what is NextCycle? We provide mentoring, networking, and access to funding pathways to help projects and businesses like yours to grow and thrive in Washington State for NextCycle Washington. So basically our main kind of goal here is we are moving away from, supporting projects that do the linear take, make, use, and waste model to one that supports more circular material flows. So things like recycling, sharing, reusing, and repair. So many of you will be on the right side of the spectrum, and this is the type of projects we support. Next slide, please. The way we think about projects, we think about it through two lenses, an upstream lens and a downstream lens. So business and projects that are preventing waste or improving and expanding reuse and repair are going to be upstream. So they're using the materials as much of that material as possible without breaking it down. And then downstream is improving, innovating, and expanding material, both organic and non-organic, recycling, recovery, and end uses. So we're really, at that point, breaking materials down and understanding what are the end markets for those materials. So here are some examples of upstream and downstream projects that have gone through our accelerator. So an upstream project using reuse is Redesign Collective. So some of these folks are in the room today, so you will be able to talk with them about their experience. But so basically Redesign Collective is taking old vintage and reclaimed fabrics and turning them into commercial products like pillows, decor, chairs, ottomans, really beautiful stuff. So you'll get a chance to talk to Lisa a bit today. Biomass control is using thermochemical treatments to treat things like manure, human excrement, agricultural residues, and they're creating safe products for the earth like biochar to safely put back into the earth. And then finally, so that was an example of downstream. An example of upstream and reuse is Transcend. They're taking hyperlocal textile materials, creating the supply chain, and creating them into ready-to-wear clothing. Really beautiful fashion wear. So you'll maybe get a chance to speak to them today, but Jeff is here as well. Great, awesome. So next slide, please. So the programming is basically three specific parts. There's an Accelerator Academy, individualized coaching, and then finally a pitch showcase that happens after the programming is kind of wrapping up. So the Accelerator Academy is a 2-day event. We'll have group workshop sessions like business modeling, market identification, supply chain, funding options, partnerships. We basically help you jumpstart your project. So this is the beginning of your support journey through us. And then we're offering network and programming facilitations with facilitators and other teams. So we're basically, we have 2 days of in-person networking and community building, which is, really key for developing projects and networks. We then have individualized coaching after that. So you have about 6 months of mentoring support, focused on business planning, marketing strategy, understanding your supply chain. These are all from experts in the space. Pitch development and storytelling, and finally, really, building out your funding and partner network. And then finally, your showcase, what we're all building up to, which is going to be you pitching to a panel of expert judges. You will be competing for monetary prizes of $10,000 and under, depending on the prize. And then also you'll be networking with a large group of public funders, nonprofits, investors who are looking to help you further along your business and project ideas. And then finally, the results of this, over 3 cohorts, we've had 45 accelerator teams. Our teams have gotten over $57 million of investment. Our impact on recycling is over 11 million pounds. With our groups, we've seen a reuse impact of about 16,000 items. And then finally, job numbers, we're seeing about 150 full-time jobs through our teams. So from that, I'm going to introduce Liz, and Liz will walk through the timeline.
Thanks, Kamal. Hi, everyone. I'm Liz Start. I use she, her pronouns. Excited to talk to you about this, getting you going and launching. So here's our timeline. So the star is where we are today. You all welcome to application party 1. So the application deadline is on Halloween. So hopefully if you're submitting on that day, you're also wearing a costume and enjoying the day too, not stressing out. Our goal is to lower barriers for you as much as possible and make this a pleasant process. And so we do that by hosting parties like this, which we'll have another one on October 14th, as well as during this time, I'll talk about something called office hours, which is another support system that we have. So again, application deadline is October 31st. If you are like me and a professional procrastinator, be prepared. I would say get it done early, but again, if you're like me, enjoy submitting it on October 31st. Then starting in November through early December, we have a review board that goes through and they review each of the applications, and then we will decide the final cohort. And so that's a whole process, where we do an internal review. We have a group of outside experts who will review each of your applications. So just a quick plug, if you don't come to the application room, think about, how you're, pitching being part of the cohort, and what the reviewers will read it as. So that's your audience. And so kind of depending on, like funding, we may start onboarding as early as mid-December. We're not sure about that, but absolutely we'll start onboarding in January of 2026. And then I think the third week in January, we will do a 2.5-day Accelerator Academy. That's where you come together and get to know the rest of your cohort. We really spend time digging into, mapping your business plan, your funding plan, and really just learning some good tools from storytelling to understanding how to have strong financials and how to pitch to investors, or if you're a nonprofit, when you're writing your grants, how to word that. Then you'll spend about 5.5 months with one-on-one coaches. You'll be assigned a coach from our facilitation team, and we will work one-on-one with you. Usually that requires, at least one meeting a month, sometimes more depending on your need. And we'll really be working with you to develop a strong work plan as well as honing in your pitch, which this all culminates in, as I think Emrad or Tina said earlier, in May, we do the pitch showcase, which is a really fun full day event. You get up, you have 5 minutes to give your spiel, and you're in front of a panel of judges, and you'll be ranked and stuff, and you have the opportunity to win different prizes for your category. So that's kind of like our whole timeline that goes through the middle of next year. But yes, we're very excited to get to see your applications. So with our application period, you can do a couple of things. So if you go to nextcyclewashington.com, click the apply button with this great red circle animation. And you have 2 options. There's an option to download the packet. So you don't apply from the packet, but it has all the information. It has background information, kind of framing of how to answer the question, as well as a rubric of what the reviewers are looking for. So that has all the information and then all of the questions as well. And then when you kind of have reviewed that and you're ready to go, then you click on apply online through the portal, and it'll take you to a program called Foundant, or I think it says Grant Interface in the website. And if you don't already have an account, you would just log in for an account, and then you would go through and provide your answers. So that is the quick how to apply. And then we want to make sure you feel supported along the way. I would say this in Spanish, but my Spanish is no bueno, but we can get you Spanish translation or interpretation as needed. We will host virtual office hours. And that means you would just meet one-on-one with our facilitation team. We also have applicant mentors who can support you. We have a great governance team. I think Carol, I saw on the call as one of our governance members, of folks who, if you're in a certain region, we can connect you with to really help you feel supported in the process of applying. We have a list of FAQs that were put together on the website, as well as our resource library. And lastly, if you don't know, what to do, or you get stumped and, you need an answer sooner than scheduling an office hour, you can email nextcyclewa@recycle.com. And so that leads us to the last thing. So the virtual office hours that I'm talking about, they're half-hour sessions that you can schedule. You just click on the picture of whoever the coach is that you want to talk about. And some of us have certain specialties, which we have listed, I think, on the website. And then you could just click on that and, spend time. We can talk through any questions that you have or any areas you may be struggling with on the application. And then two, if there's something that we're not sure about, we can also, bring in one of our colleagues to help make sure that you feel supported. So excited to see you all apply. And I think I'm going to hand it back to Emra now.
Yes. Fabulous information. And I know we sped through there like we were on fire, but we want you to make sure that you have support here. Like I said, this is not like a normal grant process where we have to be like, we can't speak to you and it's during the application period. No, we want you to be a part of this program. So like Liz said, make sure you are staying connected with us. You can scan, if you are sitting at a laptop and you're not on your phone, you can scan the QR code and that will take you directly to the website itself. Lizzie put in the chat a couple of links to office hours and to apply, which will take you to the page where you can download that information packet. So please utilize these resources, but also follow us on LinkedIn, check out our YouTube channel where you can actually see pitches from previous cohorts and get a feel for what are they talking about with this 5-minute pitch. You can actually look at all these pitches that happened over the previous 3 years. So we are excited that you are here.